Let's burn up some rubber with Gabriel Borghi leading the pack, with Angelo right next to him, Cody Canadian and Tony leading the second row, Joshua South and Revivio in the third row. Here we go. Everybody taking off down that first longer, not so straight part of Imola into turn one, that long chicane. A good start from everybody as they find their position here on the track. No incidents so far, so that's good to see. Speaking of, just so we don't miss any of that action, we're going to go ahead and change this camera over just a little bit, as we have missed some of those crashes in the past. But we should still be seeing some action here.
Like we're going to be getting a battle between Angelo and Cody right from the start.
Angelo rocking a different color scheme today, if that is him in the yellow car. I believe so, because he is the only BMW on the track today. With Cody chasing him down in the Ferrari. Lots of Ferrari representation today. Gabriel Borghi in first place with it. Cody and Josh in third and fourth with it. Only the McLarens having a duo compared to the rest of the unique grid today. Oh, I lied. I totally missed the
two Porsche
there. Not a fan of them personally. They you can catch me missing them most days.
It takes a certain kind of driver to make a Porsche.
That is going to be
fast.
Tony making a move towards Cody. I apologize, that was Joshua making an attack, but Cody does have to worry about Tony as well. If he keeps his pace, he'll be up to Josh in no time. Lots of people rocking new liveries today. It's completely throwing me off. We've seen a lot of consistency, although I'm noticing we're missing some drivers today. Obviously, one of the front runners, Blake, is missing today. I believe we're missing somebody else as well, who has been fighting regularly throughout the series. Let me go ahead and take a look at the pace, not the pace notes, but the results so far in the season. Beautiful fight here going on. But I believe we are missing Ty Simon. That's who I was thinking of. That's one of the consistently appearing drivers that we're also missing today. On top of that, I'm also not seeing Alex as well, who's been participating in most of the sessions so far. Trent Thompson also absent today. Another familiar face normally in this series. But so far, these three are putting up a good fight. Joshua and Tony specifically keeping good pace with each other. But they're going to have to pick up the speed if they want to catch up to Cody here. And Gabriel's trying his best to make a gap, but Angelo's only 2 seconds off of him, with Cody doing the same. That's going to be the end of lap 1 here today, with 26 minutes, I'm sorry, lap 2. 26 minutes remain on the clock now. That is the number 3 car of Tony flying by. Ooh, and Joshua South out into the dirt. That's going to give Tony the chance to pass, and also possibly Refugio. Yes, that's going to drop Joshua South 2 places down to 6th place. I'm sure he's not going to be happy about that. As I'm sure you know, Darius, he's definitely going to be a little bit more stubborn and frustrated with his driving now.
He has been struggling with the car. I've been watching him through practice. Don't think he's very familiar with this track in particular, but I'm sure if
Not
you give him
only
a couple
that,
laps, he'll figure it out throughout the race.
Correct, but not only that, he did mention earlier before this race started that he did not get much chance to practice this week at all. So hopefully that's going to be his only mistake today, and he could possibly make some attacks here on the 2 drivers battling now. This is going to be Tony McNally, or I'm sorry, McAnally, followed by Refugio Ruiz, who is going to make the pass here, it looks like. Maybe not. He backed out of it. Beautiful stuff here today. Let me go ahead and see if we can get that map overlay up for you as well, since we're no longer at an oval. Here we go.
Nope.
Last week we
You
were
got
at
by
Daytona.
Tony.
Daytona ended in a furious fight there at the end with, I think, 2 or 3 drivers getting wrecked out. Not too surprising from fighting in ovals. And Refugio is through right now in the 4th place position, followed by Tony McNally, with Joshua South recovering from his mistake into the dirt previously. Gabriel's doing a good job maintaining his lead, although Angelo is not letting him grow it, which is what we've normally seen in this series from drivers like Blake Reynolds, who have ended their race on anywhere between a 10 to 20 second gap. Hopefully next week we'll have Blake Reynolds back. We do love to see his driving, and I'm sure Angelo and Gabriel both still want to give him a good fight as well. Yeah, some interesting liveries today. They've gone a little more simple, and I'm starting to wonder if some of the drivers updated on their trading paint. So we're going to go ahead and check that now. You may see some of the cars reloading here in a second. And that makes a lot more sense. There's going to be the Porky's livery of Joshua South, followed by Jeremy Spencer Dunn's Porky's livery as well. Both representing a local business there in Houston, Texas, as this is a Houston-based league here with the Bayou City Cup, hosted by Shift E Racing here today. So far, nothing chaotic, which is good to see. A lot of these drivers getting a lot more consistent as the series progresses.
Well, Joshua South sent it to pits with Cordell's crests.
Correct. Right now we are seeing the battle between the number 3 car of Tony McNally chasing after Refugio Ruiz in the updated liveries. Now that we've gotten our trading paints running and updated, we've seen those new changes in liveries from our drivers here today. .22 minutes remain on the clock as the drivers make their way down the track here at Imola today in iRacing. This is the Bayou City Cup Round 5, based out of Houston, Texas once again. As the number 9 car of Refugio, who's starting to make a good gap away from Tony McNally. As they make their way through that chicane. And towards the downhill, they're going to be making their way towards the end of this lap. Taking a look at the leaderboard so far, Angelo has a chance to catch up to Gabriel if he can get closer to his fast lap again. He has the current fastest lap of the session so far. Although that's going to be a change now with Gabriel Borghi taking a 143.6.
Very short.
Great stuff today. That's 6/10 that Angelo's going to have to start making up a lap if he wants to bring that gap back down to 2 seconds again. All it takes, though, is one mistake from Gabriel Borghi. Cody Canady also struggling a little bit more now with a 5-second gap to Angelo. He's going to have to worry about Refugio here soon if he keeps losing that pace. And we do see that the drivers that have taken their pits are out now. They're going to have to make up some time. And a little bit wide from the driver there in the number 9 car. That is Refugio, who's going to have Tony chasing him back down again with a 0.4 second gap. He's going to be in the draft, so as long as he can follow the same line It's going to be a bit of a benefit for him right now at this point of the race. A third of the race completed now with 20 minutes left on the clock. 3 toes chasing after the number 9. Here we go through that chicane once more. Refugio going a little bit wide, but to maintain his speed, it might be worth taking the instant point here. Flying through, that is a great exit. He's gained a 10th or so. But the draft is going to benefit Tony once again as they come towards the starting straight once more. We can see that gap starting to dwindle down to 0.3. We'll go down to 0.2. It's all going to matter in the braking zone now as we can see him getting down to that 0.2 range. Beautiful stuff. Can he keep the gap closed? Doesn't seem like it. Refugio having a beautiful exit there. But the draft is still in Tony's benefit.
I think as long as he applies a little bit of pressure, he should be able to get him with ease.
That is true, but Refugio is doing a great job of using the surface of Imola. You can see him going just where he needs to on the curbs for those exits to be able to get the power on the straight. And he's able to maintain that 0.4, 0.3 second gap even with the draft. Seems like the McLaren is handling the turns better today here at Imola, especially with those elevation changes. That bigger wing with the sleeker body is going to give it some more aerodynamic advantages there in the corners. Now we see it again, a beautiful exit from Refugio. You can see him putting down the throttle right as he straightens out on the curb. He's built that gap up to 0.6, 0.5, 0.7. Beautiful gap here today. Beautiful racing. Flying down the straight once again towards the starting line. The next lap begins for these two drivers as they continue to duke it out. Tony McAnally, his first appearance in the series so far, could finish today just outside the podium. That'd be a great finish for a debut start. But Refugio is putting down the pace. He's put the gap to more than a second now. Beautiful stuff. If it wasn't for his overall pace, he might be fighting for the podium right now. Although he does have the 3rd fastest lap of the session, so if he keeps it up, things could change for him here. As we saw, Cody's been losing paces. He now has an 8.5 second gap to Angelo Moranti, who's currently chasing down Gabriel, who's put another second gap between the two of them as well on the podium. A shout out to all of our drivers here so far. No crashes, no spinouts, nothing damaging to their race so far. So it has been nothing but competitive today.
A few close calls, but relatively
That's
clean.
racing. Some would say that we're growing motor. And once again, heading on to the next lap. Refugio doing an amazing job to keep that gap growing. He still has it at 1 second here, but we do see that there's some other drivers that are now making close calls. That's going to be the number 11 of Cordell Seacrest and Jess Williams in the Porsche and Ford respectively. Jess going wide, but not spinning out the car. It was a great recovery. If they got on the throttle too soon, that definitely could have been troublesome in a Ford, that's for sure. But now we cut back to Refugio, who's continuing to keep that 1 second gap from Tony McAnally behind him. He's showing that the C-class license means nothing. He may be the third lowest license class today. But he is putting in the work. So as we know, this is the Bayou City Cup Round 5 hosted by Shift E Racing. Their other event available to anybody across the world is the Roadmaster Series. Do you know what track they're doing for the next event here at the end of this month, Darius?
They're gonna be running Road America in the F4 for cars is what is currently scheduled for it.
There you go. Unfortunately, I will not be able to commentate for that session as I will be taking care of some personal matters. But we will still have a video going up, I believe. I do not know who the current commentator will be at this moment, so I won't make any specific callouts on that. But I am a little bit bummed that I will be missing that out. I do love those F4s for sure.
I will be participating in that myself, so.
There is a chance I could still be commentating. It depends on if he just wants me to edit and commentate on it after. But I believe he still wants to have it done with a live stream, which I totally understand. And want to support as well. That way I can watch it when I'm bored.
Looks like Refugio's losing a little bit of pace because Tony's caught right back up.
That is for sure. As we can see, he's back in that drafting range. Although,
Oh,
dang, that
He just-
sharp cut. Ooh, and that's going to be some front end damage there for Tony McAnally. He did not expect such a sharp cut from Refugio, and honestly, neither did I. That's going to be Jeremy Spencer Dunn passing Tony here as he tries to get back on the track. We do see that Cordell is behind him, but that's going to be a 30-second gap, so he has nothing to worry about there. Looks like he is starting to recover now. And now we are back on board with a Ferrari that I believe, I wasn't sure if that was Joshua or Gabriel. That would have been Gabriel because Joshua is rocking the Porky's livery. There's going to be the number 7, Jess Williams, who has gone off. And now that's actually given an opportunity to Joshua South, who is now in 8th place. 12 minutes remain on the clock. And I might have to take that back. Oh no, actually that is Jeremy Spencer Dunn who was off in the dirt there. Lots of catastrophes happening here. I'm wondering if that tire wear is starting to cause problems for the drivers. Ooh, and another driver into the wall. That is... I don't see a number 23 on our list.
That's Cody Canady.
Okay, there we go. That's going to be some damage for him as well now. Refugio is only 3 seconds behind him with only 12 minutes left on the clock. I think he has a chance to take third place position, especially with the pace he's been setting. He's been staying close to those 144s aside from that last lap. And it looks like the Ferrari is struggling to drive as well. That's going to be Angelo Moranti leading in second place at the moment. And here's Gabriel Borgi in the Ray-Ban Ferrari.
Refugio might have a chance at a podium.
Anything's really possible at this moment now that we're seeing those tires struggling. And if I take a look at the session details, let me get these pulled up once again.
The track
I'm wondering
is
if they...
scorching hot. It is 122 degrees Fahrenheit.
That is true. I'm taking a look at some of the settings for this race. I'm not seeing anything but a mandatory pit stop. And surprisingly, I don't see any extended tire wear, surprisingly. So, yeah, it is truly just natural shredding of the tires on this hot track today.
It does not take much, especially at a track with all this elevation changes and like the quick turns on of the chicanes. It's not made for tire saving, that's for sure. Oh yeah, Cody Canady is really struggling with that Ferrari right now.
That is going to give Refugio a chance. He's lessened that gap to only 1 second now. Every minute, dropping more and more time to get closer to Cody Canady here. As we see the BMW of Angelo overtaking a back marker of Jess Williams. I do love hearing that Ford engine, though, I can't lie. The brief moments of the sound of it passing. Bliss to my ears, I must say.
Oh. Cordell is complaining about track debris at the moment.
There is quite a bit of pebbles and dust out there from the incidents we saw around that 12-minute mark. There was a lot of chaos, a lot of damaged front ends, that's for sure. As they make their way towards the last few laps of this race, since we're seeing about 1:45 from each lap, with that exception of Gabriel, who's been flying with some 1:43s today, we should be expecting about, let's see, that'd be, I believe about 6 or 7 laps left. Or 5 or 6, yeah, 5 or 6. And there you can see Cody Canady struggling to keep the car rotating around the bends now. Definitely some damage to his front aero. But he's managed to make some more pace away from Refugio. That 1 second gap from earlier has grown to about 1.5 seconds now. And here we see Gabriel Borgi in the lead once again for a brief moment. But the action is with Cody Canady today as he defends his podium position with only 8 minutes left in the race. Refugio is wanting to chase him down and steal that spot so he can celebrate today instead of going home without a bottle of champagne. And a reminder, these drivers are racing with money on the line. They are here to win some prize money as they make their way around the course. Gabriel Borgi, I think, has secured the first place position for today as long as he doesn't have any incidents. He could honestly even let off the pace just a little bit and he'd be fine with only 7 minutes left on the clock. Angelo also maintaining that second place position pretty well. It's only Cody Canady who's defending a cash prize today as he almost makes contact with the wall. I don't know if you noticed that. And Refugio keeping the 1 second gap back down again, but he's off the track. He might have to slow down for a yield. That dropped his gap to almost 2 seconds slower. He's down to 2.5 now. That may have been the thing that keeps Cody Canady in third place as long as he doesn't make any more mistakes of his own.
Although he is coming up on a back marker, so depends how he clears the traffic.
Even Gabriel Borgi having some trouble getting around the chicane there, bouncing around the curves and almost losing the traction underneath his tires, dipping into the grass there as he makes his way towards a back marker. I believe that's Joshua South he's chasing after. Can't tell if it's Jeremy Spencer Dunn or Joshua South. They're running those similar Porky's liveries.
Joshua is in a Ferrari.
Yeah, I was going to say, I believe that is the McLaren, if I'm not mistaken, that he just passed.
Nope.
No, am I incorrect?
Yeah, it was the Ferrari.
It is, okay, my bad. Those two liveries are throwing me off today here at Imola. It was a little bit more easier to tell in the stock cars, but today they are throwing me off for sure. But Gabriel's doing a great job here today. I think he's lapped the pack maybe once or twice now. As our camera director decides where the best action on the track is for the moment. It looks like it's going to be on Gabriel Borgi, although I am mistaken. Now we are with the number 11 of Cordell Secrest chasing down Jess Williams. This is a race for the 8th place position. Only 5 minutes remain. Although it looks like the overtake has been made by Cordell, taking over the 8th place position. Jess Williams off into the dirt. He's definitely been struggling in that Ford. I wonder if he needs to make a change on a car in the upcoming races, because that Ford just does not seem to be working out for him.
It's not an easy car to handle. It takes a lot of skill. This is coming from a person who drives it pretty often.
We saw that from you at Mosport. You did a wonderful job, but yeah, that car is a little bit more difficult to turn than some. It's very much a power in the straights type of car. And we see Cordell getting out of the way of Cody Canady as he continues to try to defend his 3rd place position. Around the chicane, here they come. 2 seconds in the gap with 3.5 minutes coming up closely on the clock. I'm really wondering if Refugio is going to be able to take that 3rd place position today. He's fighting well, but not fighting well enough, honestly. Every time the gap has closed, it's just reopened again, although that looks like it's a pretty good exit there. Although here we go as we come down the starting straight once again. At this point, we know there's only going to be 2 laps remaining for sure.
This might be a tight ending between Cody and Rufio. They're
Definitely for
pushing
sure.
really hard at the both of them.
Yeah, just unfortunate for Jess Williams. That's going to be a retire for this session. Although they still got through more than 50% of the session, so they will be counted in the standings, I believe. At least as far as iRacing standings go. I don't know if their personal point system differs at all or matches the same information. But here we see Cody Canady continuing to defend that 3rd place position as we cut away for a moment to the BMW of Angelo Moranti, taking a pass on the number 4 of Joshua South here today at Imola in the Bayou City Cup, hosted out of Houston, Texas by Shift E Racing for Houston, Texas drivers. Beautiful use of the curb there by Angelo. While he doesn't have quite the pace of Gabriel, he's definitely put on a good show here today as well, as he has a 32-second gap to Cody. That's insane. Which, when you add on the 8-second gap that he has to Gabriel Borgi, it means Gabriel Borgi almost has a 40-second gap to 3rd place.
Definitely shows you the pace difference between those drivers.
For sure. We need Blake back to give Gabriel another fight. And here we go. This is going to be the final lap as we see our circular map flash white. This is the final lap here today at Imola. Gabriel Borgi leading in 1st place, followed by Angelo Moranti in 2nd, with a 24-second gap to Cody Canady here, currently defending in 3rd on screen from Refugio Ruiz in 4th place. Jerry Spencer Dunn is there in the 5th place position comfortably, with Tony McAnally in 6th place behind him. Joshua South also farther away in the 7th place position, with Cordell Secrest and Jess Williams finishing out 8th and 9th. Cody Canady here only has to maintain this gap. He doesn't need to do anything fancy. He simply needs to make it to the end to claim his prize today here at Imola. Making their way around the bend now. And up the hill. Or sorry, down the hill. I apologize. We already know that Gabriel and Angelo are going to secure that 1st and 2nd place position, so this is all we're focused on at the moment. A huge congratulations to Gabriel, though, as again, he put on an impressive display here today. Angelo Moranti is Oh, actually, we may have one more lap. I may be mistaken. Here we go. Here is Gabriel Borgi.
Must have crossed the line just before the timer finished.
It looks like it, because, yeah, I'm not seeing the checker come out.
The white flag was up now.
So, yeah, damn, Gabriel, that is impressive stuff here today. So the fight will continue for Cody, which I'm sure he's stressed about. Although, as we saw the camera catch a glimpse of that there, Refugio was off in the dirt for just a moment, losing his gap once again down to 2 seconds off the pace. We see Gabriel Borgi currently leading his finishing lap here today. Hopping over the curb, but his suspension seems to be set up well for it. We do know that a good setup can take you pretty far in these 30-minute races. That is going to be Angelo following in shortly behind him in the BMW. But that's going to be it for today. Once again, congratulations to Gabriel Borgi as he makes his way down towards the finish line of today's race. He will be taking first place, followed by Angelo Moranti coming around now to claim his second place prize for today. Hopefully in a moment we're going to go ahead and see Cody Canady as he fights Refugio. Yep, we saw him there for just a brief moment. Go ahead and get us cut back to the screen. Here we go.
Oh.
Ooh, Cordell going off in the very last lap. That's unfortunate. But here we go as we see Cody is going to go ahead and make his way across the line in the third place position. Congratulations today to Cody. But that is going to be unfortunate for Seacrest. Or yeah, that's just never a good feeling when it's on the last lap. And his car can't even go in a straight line now. He's making his way towards the wall. Oh no, just take it to the pits. What are you doing? Ooh. Not a way to end the race. But as we take a look at the leaderboard, as we know, Refugio is chasing down Cody Canady for that 4th place position. Jeremy Spencer Dunn is currently going in for the 5th place position. Tony McAnally in 6th place. Joshua South in 7th. Cordell Crest in 8th after his crash, since Jess Williams already retired in 9th. What do you think today, Darius? Was that the race you were expecting at the start of this race after everything went clean?
It was pretty quiet. I wasn't really seeing much action going to happen unless Angelo caught up.
Only self-inflicted.
Yeah, definitely
That
a lot of
12-minute mark, and then lots of chaos for the drivers today. But that is going to be the end of the Bayou City Cup Round 5. Gabriel Borgi, congratulations. You'll be taking home a good prize today. Make sure if you are in the Houston, Texas area to check it out with Shift E-Racing. I believe they are also a part of the Facebook page in Texas as well for the Houston iRacers. So definitely give it a check. You can go ahead and check it out. Otherwise, thank you for joining us today on stream. You all have a wonderful night.